started with a damn chalk bag. I was cleaning out the gear rack next to the front closet in our apartment, just killing time on a Sunday. Alana was at the gym, or at least she said she was. I pulled out the shoe bin, swept behind it, and there it was, a bright orange Petzl chalk bag tucked way in the back like someone had shoved it there on purpose. It wasn't covered in dust, but it wasn't new either. You don't forget a chalk bag back there. That thing had history, and I knew it wasn't mine. I've only ever used Metolius. Call it brand loyalty or superstition, but that's been my go-to since college. This thing had Max written on the side in faded black Sharpie. Messy handwriting. No way I missed this before. My name's Ryan. I'm 27. I live in Fort Collins, Colorado. Alana and I had been dating for 3 years, living together for 14 months. I knew her gear like I knew my own. Hell, we packed each other's bags half the time. And I'd never seen this chalk bag. Not once. When she got home, I asked her about it casually. Just, hey, whose chalk bag is this? She didn't even look at it at first. Said something like, I don't know. Probably old. I held it up again. It has someone's name on it. Max, you sure it's not someone else's? She snatched it out of my hand like I'd waved a red flag in front of her face. I said it's old, Ryan. Why are you being weird about this? Then she stormed off, straight into the bedroom, slammed the door behind her. I stood there holding a bin full of climbing shoes and wondering what the hell that was about. A forgotten bag doesn't get that kind of reaction. Something was off. That night, she posted to her Little Fitness Instagram account, the one with all the rock climbing photos and cringy captions. The picture was her in front of a boulder wall, arms crossed, smug smile. The caption, real men support their climber girls without questions, flexed biceps crown, hashtag climber queen, hashtag strong women, hashtag trust matters. I read it twice, then again, just to make sure I wasn't imagining it. No way that was random. That was for me. She didn't say a word to me the rest of the night. Just scrolled through her phone, liking comments under the post. And that chalk bag? It was gone by morning. Vanished. Like it had never been there in the first place. But I wasn't crazy. I knew what I saw, and I wasn't about to let it slide. Her post blew up overnight. By the time I got to work the next morning, it had over 2,000 likes and a comment section full of nonsense. Girls hyping her up like she cured cancer. Yes, queen crown. Real ones no 100 points. Period, sis. I even saw one that said, men hate when women climb higher than them. Literally and emotionally. And it would have been funny if I hadn't recognized the damn chalk bag. Bright orange Petzl. Faded Sharpie on the side that said Max. Thing is, I knew a Max, or at least a guy who owned that chalk bag. Jason, one of my coworkers. He brought it to every indoor session we did with the company. I remembered because he always left the drawstring half open like a psychopath. And now it was in my apartment. Alana had chatted him up at the last company climbing day. I didn't think much of it at the time. She was friendly with people, whatever. But now, with her acting weird and the chalk bag disappearing overnight, I started piecing it together. So I left a comment. Real queens don't need secret climbers. Then I tagged Jason's girlfriend, Ray. 15 minutes later, Ray replied, "Excuse me? Jason, care to explain?" I didn't even blink. I just refreshed the page and watched it all unfold. Jason tried to spin it quick. Babe, it's probably someone else's gear. Ryan's just being petty again. That again part pissed me off. Like I had a history of being the problem. I hadn't said a word publicly until now. Ray wasn't stupid though. She came back with, so why are your climbing shoes missing? And why does her selfie from the retreat show your matching carabiner on her harness? I forgot about that. A few weeks back, Alana posted a selfie from what she called a women's leadership retreat. It was just her in front of a rock face, no team pics, no group shots. She claimed it was a small invite-only thing. But sure enough, zoom in on the gear loop. Same scratched-up blue carabiner Jason kept clipped to his gym bag. Alana finally jumped in, trying to downplay everything. Wow, I didn't realize Ryan was so insecure he had to start tagging people like this. We're all climbers. Sometimes gear gets borrowed. This is insane. Then her best friend Natalie decided to pile on. He didn't even want her going to that outdoor retreat. He's always been controlling. I wasn't letting that stand. I replied, the one where she came back with rope burn around her waist and no pictures of the team? That retreat. It got quiet for about 30 seconds. Then the floodgates opened. Ray posted a side-by-side of Jason's harness and Alana's from a different selfie. Same stitching pattern, same color wear on the front strap. Another girl Ray tagged said, wait, wasn't Jason at a conference that weekend? Next thing I knew, people were digging. Screenshots, old tagged photos, timestamps, even story highlights. Someone found a climbing gym check-in from Jason that matched the same day Alana said she was with the girls up in Estes Park. Then came more comments. Why is he always behind the camera but never in the pics? LMFAO, that chalk bag is in both their pics from May. Real men support their climber girls? Nah, real clowns get caught like this. I scrolled non-stop, couldn't stop watching. It was like the comments had teeth and they were finally biting back. Alana kept responding here and there, saying people didn't know the full story, that this was a toxic narrative being spun by a bitter ex. But no one bought it. By lunch, the whole thing had turned into a full-blown call-out thread. Ray was leading the charge and a bunch of others, mostly women, were chiming in with their own receipts. People who'd seen Alana and Jason together. Someone even posted a boomerang of them high-fiving at the gym, timestamped from 2 weeks ago. She told me she skipped the gym that day because of cramps. I looked at the screen, watching the likes climb and the comments get nastier. And I hadn't even really started yet. Then Ray dropped the hammer. She posted a screen recording of one of Jason's old IG stories. Just a quick shot of him supposedly working late at some desk, coffee cup in hand, captioned, "Grind time never stops." But in the background, plain as day, was the bookshelf from our apartment. Same chipped corner, same stupid little plant Alana kept saying she'd repot but never did. Ray captioned it, "So, whose late-night work setup is this?" Because it's not his apartment. That post exploded. Jason tried to take it down, but people had already downloaded it. I saw it get reposted half a dozen times with different angles, zoomed-in screenshots, even one where someone had labeled all the items in the background like it was a true crime doc. Alana's lava lamp, Ryan's bouldering guide, shared rent but only one's loyal. Then someone named Marissa chimed in. I didn't recognize her name at first, but her comment got pinned. "So this is why she's always leaving early on gym days. You must be in great shape, girl." I checked her profile. One of Alana's co-workers. HR maybe, based on the suit pics. That one comment got almost 1,000 likes in under an hour. That's when the text started. First one, "Delete your comment. You're blowing this up for no reason." Then, "Babe, we can fix this. I swear it's not what it looks like." Next, "You have no idea what you're doing. I'll ruin you." And finally, "Please, please just answer. I love you." I didn't reply to any of it. I was on Connor's couch, legs up, bowl of nachos in my lap, watching this thing unravel like it was Sunday night football. Every 5 minutes, another notification, another screenshot, another person dragging her through the digital mud. Connor looked over and said, "This might be the first time justice actually works on Instagram." By the time the sun went down, Ray posted again, this time doorbell camera footage. 4 clips back to back. All showing Alana walking into Ray's apartment building. Midday, same gray hoodie, same ponytail. The timestamps were clear, for different days over the last month. The caption just said, "So this is the mentoring you were doing?" There was no response from Alana after that. Her followers turned on her fast. Girls who'd been calling her queen 12 hours earlier were now asking for accountability. One even said, "Wow, we really hyped up the homewrecker of the year." A few of them tried to defend her, said it was a smear campaign, said people were just jealous of her confidence. But then someone replied, "Confidence isn't hiding behind someone else's boyfriend." 10 minutes later, Alana deleted the original post, the one with the caption about real men and strong women. Just nuked it off the timeline like that would fix anything. It didn't matter. Screenshots were everywhere. People had turned her post into memes already. I saw one with her picture photoshopped next to a chalk bag labeled community gear. Another with Jason edited into her climbing selfie, holding a Team Homewrecker sign. She didn't text again after that. And honestly, I didn't care. She told the world she was a climber queen who didn't need to explain herself. Turns out, she was just hoping nobody looked too close at the harness. The next day, she showed up like it was a damn intervention. I opened the front door and there she was, Alana, her mom Carla, and her sister Nora, standing in a row like they were about to stage a church revival in my living room. Carla was holding a manila folder like it meant something. Nora had that pissed-off sister face, arms crossed, judging everything before it started. And Alana? She wouldn't look me in the eye. Carla walked in first, didn't even wait to be invited. "We need to talk," she said, already halfway to the couch. "As adults. Civilly." Alana followed behind her like a student getting dragged to the principal's office. Nora closed the door without asking, then glared at me like I was the one who got caught lying. They sat down. "I didn't." Carla started. "You embarrassed her in public. That post you made tagging that girl, Ray? You turned a private issue into a public spectacle. Why would you do that to someone you love?" I leaned against the wall, arms folded. "I made one comment." She exposed herself. "Not my fault, she was busy climbing someone else's route." Alana sniffled like she was about to cry, but nothing came out. Not one tear. Her hands were folded in her lap, nails freshly done. She was dressed like she planned this whole thing. White sweater, no makeup, hair pulled back just messy enough to look tragic. "I never meant to hurt you," she said. "Jason only came over a few times. We just talked." That was her big defense. Just talked. Carla nodded slowly, like that made everything okay. Relationships have rough patches. That doesn't mean you get to ruin someone's reputation. I laughed once. "She's the one who posted about me being insecure." She lit the match. "Don't get mad, I handed people the gas can." Then Nora decided to chime in. "You've never been supportive of her dreams. You always act like climbing's your thing and she's just tagging along." I turned, grabbed my phone off the counter, hit play on a voicemail Ray had sent the night before. Jason's voice filled the room. Slurred, pissed off, caught. "I know I lied again. I was with her, but she doesn't mean anything. I swear I'm done this time, Ray. Just don't leave." Silence. Carla stood up like someone hit a button on her back. She looked at Alana and said, "We're leaving. Alana, get your stuff." Alana just sat there, blinking. "What? No, we're just talking, right?" Carla didn't repeat herself. Just stood there with her purse on her arm, keys in hand. I looked straight at Alana. "You've got 30 days. My name's on the lease. You've been living rent-free while building trust with someone else's boyfriend. That ends now." Nora opened her mouth like she wanted to argue, but Carla cut her off. "Let's go. We've heard enough." Alana stood up slowly, like maybe dragging it out would earn her sympathy. Didn't. Carla and Nora walked out ahead of her. Before she stepped out the door, Alana turned and said, "You really think you're so perfect? You think this makes you the good guy?" I didn't even blink. "No, just not the liar." Then I closed the door in her face. 12 hours later, she flipped the whole story. Alana went full PR mode, posted some long, dramatic caption on her fitness page with a black and white photo of her looking out a window like she just finished crying. Claimed I was emotionally abusive, said I controlled her, monitored her phone, isolated her from male friends, and tried to dim her light. I read the whole thing sitting in the office break room with my earbuds in. By the time I scrolled down, the shares were already over 600. People were reposting it to their stories with captions like, "Sending love to all the strong women surviving narcissist's broken heart," and "This is so brave. We see you." I wasn't shocked, just pissed. She didn't just rewrite the ending. She rewrote the whole damn book and cast herself as the heroine who barely escaped me. I checked the comments. It was all, "Been there, girl," and "the fact that men like this exist," and "you're a survivor." I wasn't about to start defending myself to strangers, but I didn't need to. Ray came in swinging. She posted a series of screenshots, DMs Alana sent Jason just a few weeks back. One said, "You drive me crazy, Daddy. I don't care about your girl. I just want you." Another one, "It's better when it's secret. It's hotter that way." Ray posted the full conversation thread. No edits. No commentary. Just facts. Alana fired back with a story. White text on a black background claiming Ray was weaponizing private messages to silence another woman and called it textual victim blaming. That got maybe a third of the traction her original post did. People started asking questions now. Some of the same ones who reposted her sob story were now deleting it off their page. One comment hit it square. "Wait, how are you the victim and the one sending daddy DMs to someone else's boyfriend?" Then Connor called. He used to be my roommate back when Alana and I first started dating. Still lived in the same building. Said he had something to show me. Sent over a video file. It was security footage from our old building's side entrance. Alana, hair tucked in a hoodie, buzzing some guy in at midnight while I was out of town. Dated from over a year ago. Then another. And another. 3 different guys, 3 different nights. "Figured you might want to see this," Connor said. I didn't reply right away. Just stared at the clips. It wasn't even the cheating that hit hardest. It was the timing. This wasn't new. She'd been doing this since the early days. While she was telling me I was the first guy who made her feel safe, I forwarded one of the videos to her mom with a simple message. "Thought you should see this." Carla called that night. Her voice was flat. Nothing like the last time she'd been in my living room acting like I ruined her daughter's life. "I didn't know," she said quietly. "I'm sorry." I didn't say anything for a second. Then just said, "Me too." She hung up first. 3 days later, I got a call at work from my neighbor, Mrs. Flanagan. She didn't waste time. "Ryan, you need to get home. Your ex is trying to break into your apartment." I stood up so fast I knocked over my chair. "She what?" "She was picking the lock with a goddamn bobby pin." I told her I was calling the cops and she said she lived there, so I asked her to show ID. She wouldn't. "I've got it all on camera." I was halfway to my car before she even hung up. By the time I got there, 2 squad cars were parked out front. Lights off but doors open. Mrs. Flanagan was on the porch, arms crossed, holding her phone like a weapon. Alana stood off to the side, arms crossed too, but for a different reason. Hers was pure attitude. One officer was talking to her. The other walked over to me. "You Ryan?" "Yeah." "Your neighbor says your ex was attempting to gain entry without a key. You live here alone?" "Yes, sir." "She moved out. My name's on the lease. You can check." He nodded. "We already did." I looked over at Alana. "Why are you even here?" She didn't answer me. Looked straight ahead like I was invisible. The cop she'd been talking to stepped in. She claimed this was still her residence, but her ID shows a different address. "We're not arresting her, but she's getting a written warning for attempted unlawful entry." Mrs. Flanagan piped up. Told her I was retired Marine Corps. She didn't believe me. Then she saw the Ring camera, and suddenly her story changed. Alana finally spoke. "I left my hoodie inside. I wasn't breaking in." The officer just raised his brow. "You were picking the lock." She didn't say another word. They handed her the paperwork, told her not to come back, and left. She didn't even look at me as she got in her car and peeled out. Mrs. Flanagan just shook her head. "She's lucky I'm not 20 years younger," she said. "I'd have drop-kicked her down the steps." I thanked her, bought her muffins the next morning. Couple days after that, I walked into the break room at work and one of the new hires, some intern named Matt, gave me a weird look. "You good, man?" "What do you mean?" He pulled out his phone and showed me a DM he got from me. The message said, "You looked amazing in that sports bra today. Made it hard to focus, LOL." I froze. That wasn't me. I don't talk like that. I don't even follow him on Instagram. I said, "Dude, I didn't send that." He looked uncomfortable. "It came from your name. Same profile picture." I pulled out my phone and checked. My account hadn't been touched. No messages, no sent activity. So whoever sent that made a fake account using my name and photo. And that wasn't even the worst part. The profile was under the name Kyle_R_FTC. I never use Kyle. It's my middle name. Only 2 people even knew that, Alana and, unfortunately, her sister Nora. I called Luke, my buddy from IT. Told him what happened. He was already logging into the work network before I finished talking. Send me the profile link. I'll see where the IP leads. Took him about an hour. It was created from a mobile device on a Wi-Fi network registered to a Nora K. Weston, Denver address. Same IP logged into that fake account 3 times this week. I filed a police report. Luke gave me the logs, timestamps, everything. Then I called the lawyer my dad recommended after the break-in mess. We drafted a cease and desist, addressed to both Alana and Nora. Next morning, Nora posted a story. Some people just can't handle strong women. They call lawyers when they get scared. I didn't reply. I just forwarded it to the lawyer. He said, "Great, that's evidence too." The day after the cease and desist went out, Ray called me. No small talk. "You're not gonna believe what I found." I was at home, standing in the kitchen, still holding a half-eaten granola bar. "What is it?" "Jason's been seeing 3 other women. None of them knew about each other. One's a nurse, one's a social worker, and the third's still in school, pre-law, I think." My stomach dropped. "At the same time?" "Yep. I found them through tagged photos. All posted within the last year, different captions, but he's wearing the same gear in 2 of them. Same chalk bag, same harness. He's sloppy." That was already bad enough. But she wasn't done. "Ryan, I think Jason and Alana were doing this on purpose." I sat down at the table. "What the hell are you talking about?" "They have a private Instagram account. Took me forever to find it. It's called at the Belay team, no profile pic, no bio, just private. But one of the girls gave me access. She was dumb enough to follow them back when she was dating him. The second Ray opened that door, it all made sense. Jason and Alana weren't just cheating, they were playing some twisted tag team game. Ray sent me screenshots. The entire page was full of couple photos, not of them but of people they targeted. Some of the captions were jokes, others were coded. There were 39 posts. One caption said, "One more rope cut. On to the next cliff." Another showed a blurry shot of a guy and girl sitting by a campfire. The caption read, "Belay switch successful." They were documenting it. Like trophies. "They call it building the Belay team," Ray said. "She goes after guys. He goes after their girlfriends. It's like sabotage for sport." I didn't speak for a minute. Ray kept going. "And he works with kids, Ryan. Youth rock climbing mentoring. What kind of person does this while running around pretending to be a role model?" I already knew what she was leading up to. "You reported it?" "Already did. Sent the screenshots. Sent them everything." Jason worked at a nonprofit that ran outdoor retreats for high schoolers. I remember him bragging about how he was helping shape the next generation of climbers. "Give him confidence," he'd say. "Show him how to hold on when it gets hard." And this whole time he was cutting ropes behind the scenes. By Friday, Ray texted me one sentence. "He's out. They fired him this morning. No big announcement. No farewell post. Just gone." Deleted his climbing Instagram. Locked down his Venmo. Vanished from the one Reddit group we both followed. I stared at the screenshots Ray had sent me. Every post from that private account was cold, strategic. One even had Alana's face halfway in the mirror behind some couple kissing. She'd cropped herself out but left enough that anyone who knew her would recognize the hair, the jacket, even the damn scar on her eyebrow from her first fall. "You think there are more?" I asked. Ray was quiet for a second. "I think they've been doing this a lot longer than we thought." That night, I opened the private profile again. Just stared at the posts. That wasn't just cheating. That was planning. Scheming. They weren't in love. They were playing some sick, manipulative game, and everyone around them was just part of their climb. Handholds they used until the next move. And the worst part? I remembered the first time Jason and Alana met. That company climbing day. They locked eyes like they already had a script in place. I should have trusted that gut feeling. 2 days after Jason got canned, Alana's house of cards collapsed too. Someone, I still don't know who, Sent screenshots of the ballet team Instagram to her company's HR. Every post, every caption, everything. She worked in branding for some women's empowerment startup in Boulder. Always talking about uplifting voices and authentic storytelling. Said her job was to help women find their power and use it loud. Guess that doesn't hit the same when you're out here scheming with your best friend's boyfriend behind closed doors. I found out the next morning when Ray forwarded me a tweet. It was from some anonymous employee account at Boulder Brands Tea or something that said, "We do not support manipulation, exploitation, or coordinated emotional abuse. One of our employees has been let go effective immediately for ethics misalignment." Didn't take long to figure out who they meant. Her bio was wiped clean before lunch. A few hours later, she called me. She was crying. Not the fake kind from the day she showed up with her mom and sister. This time it was desperate. Breath-catching. Voice shaky. "Ryan, please. I lost my job. I don't have money for a lawyer. I didn't think it would go this far." I kept my voice flat. "Go this far? You had a whole scrapbook of people you hurt. What did you think was gonna happen?" Silence on the line. Then she tried again. "They're saying I targeted people. That it was all intentional. But I didn't. Jason, he started most of it. Don't finish that sentence." I cut her off. "You sent guys flirty messages, played the sweet innocent climber girl, and posed in their girlfriend's gear. You played your part." She sniffled. "Please, I can't afford this. I don't even have a lawyer yet." "Then maybe," I said, "don't play games with people's lives." Click. I hung up. Couple hours later, the Real hit came. A civil suit. One of the women Jason had been seeing, the law student Ray mentioned, filed a lawsuit against both of them. Emotional distress, deliberate deception, intent to manipulate for personal gratification. It was all in there. Ray sent me the summary. She'd been dating Jason for 6 months. Thought they were serious. Found out through the call-out thread that he and Alana had used a photo of her and her ex in one of their captions. Hard belay. Soft landing. Disgusting. Her name was Lauren. She'd already passed the bar. Said she wasn't doing it for money. She wanted it on public record. Wanted a judge to see what they did and say, "This is wrong." She wasn't messing around. And suddenly Alana's little kingdom, the girl boss image, the curated climbing life, the fake empowerment speeches, all of it started burning. And I didn't feel bad. Not even a little. She texted first, "Can we talk?" Serious. I didn't answer. 2 hours later, she showed up at my door. I didn't open it, so she called. "I'm pregnant," she said. Like it was a threat and a confession all at once. I paused. Let the silence hang for a few seconds. Then said, "No, you're not." She snapped, "You don't get to decide that. I had a vasectomy 2 years before I met you, Alana." That shut her up. "You what?" "I didn't tell you because I wanted to see if you'd ever try something like this." I kept my voice calm, steady. And here we are. Another beat of silence. Then she muttered, "You're cruel." "No," I said. "I'm just not dumb anymore." I ended the call. After that, it went quiet. No more posts, no more cryptic captions. Her climber queen energy dried up like a puddle in the desert. Her backup accounts went silent. Comments on her old posts started turning. The girls who used to scream "Yes, Queen" were deleting their praise. Then Nora messaged me. Paragraphs. She said she was sorry. Said she'd started therapy and realized she'd been manipulated too. That defending Alana had felt like a job, like she had to protect the version of her sister she wanted to believe in. I didn't reply, but I didn't block her either. Ray, on the other hand, had started something new. A blog. About healing from social sabotage, she called it. The first post went up a week after the lawsuit hit. She didn't name names. Didn't have to. The tone was clear. It was raw, honest, and people connected with it. She already had a few guest contributors and a small following. It was doing well. Then the cherry on top. Jason tried sending me a LinkedIn request. Blocked. Last week, Connor sent me a screenshot from some brand new Instagram ad. Jason and Alana were standing in front of a canyon wall, arms crossed, cheesy smiles. The caption read, "Ascend together, couple coaching for climbing plus communication." I laughed so hard I choked on my cereal. I forwarded it straight to Ray with 2 words. "Get M." She responded with a screenshot of her lawyer's email. Subject line, "Cease and desist, intellectual property infringement." Yeah. Karma may take its time, but when it shows up, it's thorough. It's been 2 months, and honestly, the apartment feels twice as big now. No stress hanging in the air. No fake silence. No weird guilt stares from across the couch. Just peace. And a fridge I don't have to keep restocking with overpriced green smoothies I never drank. Mrs. Flanagan still checks in on me. Brings over muffins once a week and won't shut up about how proud she is that I finally cut the rope. She calls Alana the wall hugger now. Says it like it's a slur. I started seeing someone new. Her name's Anna. Met her at the gym. First time we talked. She grinned and said, "That chalk bag comment? Chef's kiss." I laughed so hard I forgot what floor I was on. She's got her own gear, climbs stronger than I do on most days, and doesn't pretend to be something she's not. No dramatics. No secret accounts. Just honesty and maybe a little too much sarcasm, which I'll take any day. The infamous chalk bag, yeah, I gave it to my cousin. He's 16, just getting into climbing. Thinks it gives him luck or something. I told him straight, "Just make sure it's your bag in her gear closet." He laughed. He got the point. Last week, I checked my LinkedIn and saw Alana had viewed my profile 14 times in one day. Blocked her there too. And then came the cherry on top. Someone made a TikTok. Took her original "Real Men Support Climber Girls" post, overlaid it with dramatic music, and stitched in screenshots from the comment section like it was a Netflix docuseries trailer. It went viral. I mean viral. People stitched it with reactions, commentary, breakdowns. One guy said it was better storytelling than most actual documentaries. Another girl did a frame-by-frame analysis like it was an FBI breakdown. Her little climbing kingdom? Gone. Turned into dust. The brand, the persona, the curated empowerment aesthetic, all of it shattered. And all it took was one chalk bag, and 7 words I didn't even think twice about. Real queens don't need secret climbers. What would you have done after finding that chalk bag? Drop your answer in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real stories.